Hey Dominators, Dominic here and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a cool animated checkered pattern using CapCut, but don't worry if you're using a different software. The steps I'm showing you can also be applied in almost any editing program. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, first you'll need a checkered pattern. You can easily find a free one online or create your own. I personally recommend finding one online because it's much easier and it will save time. But once you got your pattern that you like, you want to go ahead and save it to your downloads, and you also want to make sure it's a PNG file. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, save it to my downloads, and I'm gonna go ahead and name it pattern. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just squares, it can be also hexagons or any kind of pattern that you prefer. Now that it's done downloading, you can close out of all tabs, then you can open CapCut or your preferred software. It'll take a few seconds to boot up, but when it does boot up, you want to hit this big button that says create project. And once you've done that, a new project should generate. Then you want to click the import button, find your checkered pattern that you downloaded earlier, select open and add it to your timeline. On other software, you want to import the pattern into your project and place it onto the timeline. Now that we have the pattern in our timeline, we're going to go ahead and animate it with a smooth diagonal motion. Here's how you do it in CapCut, but similar tools exist in other software. So now all we gotta do is rotate the pattern. To do this, you want to click on your pattern layer, then on the right hand side a new menu will pop up. This will allow you to adjust the size, position, and the rotation of the pattern. You want to go ahead and scroll all the way down until you see rotate, click on it and type in 45 degrees. And on other software you can use a rotation tool to achieve the same diagonal effect. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and make the pattern fill a frame. We can do this by selecting the pattern layer, and then we can go ahead and use a scale slider. Now when it comes to size, it really comes down to personal preference and what kind of style and look you are looking for. But in our case, since we're trying to go for a diagonal look at a 45-degree angle, I would usually recommend a scale or a size of 226, and this will fill up the entire frame, making it easier to manage. And actually I'm gonna go ahead and raise the percent to 230, but usually I do go for 226 though. So with this completed, we can now use the keyframes tool to create movement from one corner to another, and on other software you can set keyframes to animate the pattern moving diagonally across the screen. Now when it comes to actually animating the pattern, I highly recommend adding the keyframes based off the pattern's outline or border, and here's why. Anytime you type a number here, for example let's say 700, it will automatically show you the pattern's border, and doing this you can actually adjust the pattern and how far back you want it to go. So what I would do, since I like to line it up with the edge, I would start by 900 and go down by 100. So 800 and then 700. That didn't work either. So let's go ahead and do 600. And then let's try 500. And now that 500, it actually fills up the entire frame. It lines up perfectly with the edge. So I recommend doing this. So if you guys are doing this, go ahead and type 500. So before we actually hop into the keyframes, I would first go ahead and shorten your pattern to around 3 seconds or somewhere around 3 seconds. But I usually recommend 3 seconds because the longer the pattern is, the slower it will be. And I just think that 3 seconds is somewhere in the middle ground, if you will. When you actually animate it, it's not too slow or not too fast, in my opinion. So with all the steps completed, we can now add in our keyframes. To do this, you want to click on your pattern, then on the right, you'll notice that all keyframes in CapCut are shaped like small diamonds. And for those of you who are using other software, the process is quite similar. Just look for a keyframe option next to the property that you want to animate. With our keyframe tool ready, we can set our intel value. For example, if you're animating the position, and move the playhead to the start of the pattern and adjust the position, and in our case the position is 500 and 0, and then hit the diamond icon to make our first keyframe. Now next you want to move the playhead to where you want the animation to end and adjust the position again. So in our case we're gonna do the opposite, and we want to make X 0 and change Y to 500. Then go ahead and add another keyframe. Doing this creates smooth transitions between the 2 points. So now that the animation is fully completed, we can make any necessary adjustments to the timing or the effects to make sure it seamlessly fits in any video that we make in the future. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the playhead here, and we can see that it moves inside the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the space bar, and it moves nice and seamless. And a huge tip, if you want more than 3 seconds, go ahead and copy and paste right here. And then there will be a slight problem like this right here, where it'll kind of shake in the frame. To fix that, you want to click on it, or right click, and then edit, and then mirror. So, and then that will fix the issue to where it's nice and seamless. And if you want it even longer, you want to copy and paste the first clip, and then paste it right here. And then the second one, do the same, copy and paste. Like that, and shorten our timeline. And then move this. And then there we go. We have a nicely created animated pattern that we made here in CapCut and other software. And we made it longer than 3 seconds. It's now 12 seconds. So yeah, we can use this in intros, backgrounds of videos, streams, and whatnot. So, and if we don't want misplaced clips, just go ahead and make compound clips with Alt-G, or go ahead and right-click and go ahead and hit Create Compound Clip. And then there we go. We have now created a nicely animated checkered pattern. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and export right here. I'm gonna go ahead and name it animated pattern. Wait, that's wrong. Animated pattern. Oh, that's also wrong. Pattern. There we go. And then 1080p. There we go. Recommended. I recommend 60. So I'm going to export. It shouldn't take that long depending on the internet speeds that you have. So let it finish up. And there we go. We have a nicely animated checkered pattern. Let's go ahead and cancel. And then we can close CapCut. Or we can go ahead and use this and create ourselves a nice intro with it. Alright, so I went ahead and imported a bunch of different clips. So the first thing you want to do when you import your checkered pattern in any software that you use, you want to click on your pattern and scroll down to blend, or in other software there's a similar blend option. Just click on it. And I usually set the mode to multiply or overlay. So I like overlay, so I'm going to put on overlay. And I usually recommend for the opacity, I usually recommend 68 or 70. And if that doesn't work throughout the making of an intro or backgrounds for streams or whatnot, I would put it for 22. I found 22 to be the best, or 24. I'm actually going to go ahead and put it on 24 for right now, and maybe change it when we do this intro. So since I imported a bunch of clips, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. But first, as you can see, I imported a little soundtrack right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up here. Alright, now let's go ahead and import these clips. Alright, I'm going to drag this here. Alright, let me expand the timeline a little bit. There we go. Nice. Okay. And what we can do from here, we can do even further. We can add animations for the pattern. We can go to animation. We can go in and then go fade in. And I usually set it to 6 or 7 seconds, and that usually is fine to be good. And for the first clip, I usually recommend an animation of a fade in to 6 seconds, at least 6 seconds. I found that to be good for me. And then for the soundtrack, I usually like it to fade in because I just think, in my opinion, it's nice and it flows nicely, and I usually put that at 7 seconds as well. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and put my playhead right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my next clip and put it right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my third clip, put it right here, and then we're gonna take a pause right here and put some transitions here. You can do transitions if you want, but you don't have to. It's completely optional, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go overlay. So I don't have pro, so I'm just gonna use all the free ones, and you can just click on them to see which ones you like best, and it'll play for you right here. And you can also adjust all the timings and everything. So I think I'm just gonna go with this one, or actually, yeah, that looks nice. Or let's check out this one. Let's do this one. All right, I hit OK, and then you want to put it all the way up. There we go. All right, same here, and then go ahead and play it. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the soundtrack. Okay, that looks good. Okay, we can even add in audio effects, like, for example, a whoosh. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. So we're gonna go ahead and put it about here. And then, there we go. That sounds good. This is really going nicely. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my next clip. Put this right here. Grab my playhead. Put it right there where it snaps. Go to transitions. And go, which one did I do? I did a then and now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one in. Just put it there. And put it up. There we go. Grab my playhead. Grab my next clip. Okay, there we go. Looking good. Okay. I actually really like this. And I found this method to be easy. So if you guys enjoy this, let me know. But I don't really do tutorials. I mainly just play games on this channel. So, alright. We'll grab my ending clip, which is going to be towards the end. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Yes, it is. Okay. And then grab transition. Okay. Put that all the way up. And then we can even go further and put in some stickers for, like, you know, for example, like Cubano9456, he puts his me logo right there. So let's go ahead and do that here. I'm gonna go ahead and use the subscribe right now. Okay, that looks good. Go ahead and put an animation. Alright, let's do a fade in. Okay, let it load. Okay, that looks good. I'll probably put it at like 7 seconds. Or there's also a lot of different animation styles that you can do in out or loop. It's all up to you. It's completely optional. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this all back. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this as well on an animation and out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the fade out at 7 seconds. Grab this again, put out. 2, fade out. 7 seconds. Okay, that looking good. Good. Put it about here or here. Okay, that looks good. Right. Nice. Okay, so now that that is done, we have created a nice intro, and you can not only do an intro with this, you can create stuff for your backgrounds of streams or whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and modify this and name this example intro, and then I'm gonna put 2 because I've already made one of these. So I'm gonna put this at maybe 60 and save. Alright, now that it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the soundtrack. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a fade out for also 7 seconds. So when all the steps are finally completed, you can end up with something like this. So, there you have it. That's how you create an animated checkered pattern using CapCut and other software. Whether you're using it for eye-catching intro or a stylish background, this technique will add a professional touch to your videos. If you found this helpful, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. But anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay cool and keep running, Dominators, and have a great day. Peace.